Hey Kaijus, welcome back to my channel. This is Anna and I'm going to do another Kaiju movie review. If you're new here, I am actually on a journey of rewatching all of the Godzilla films, starting with 1954 all the way up to the new ones. So some of the new ones early on in my channel, I think I have done a few reviews. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure which ones of the newer ones I've done. I definitely have done a review of the most recent Godzilla film. But I am going to kind of do I'll rewatch my old review and then I'll revisit and do re-opinion, like kind of like a recap or see how I feel. But today we're going to concentrate on King Kong versus Godzilla. This 1962 film, definitely not the one that's coming up because it's not coming out till next year unless they push it back because of all the COVID stuff. I know a lot of movies are being pushed back. So, but for right now, King Kong vs. Godzilla is still supposed to be opening 2021. But this is all about the 1962 version. I'm not gonna lie. I seen this before as a kid, and as a kid I wasn't a fan, but I couldn't remember why I wasn't a fan. Like, it's funny because I know I've watched it because there's certain scenes that don't really have it's not just scenes like King Kong shoving a tree down Godzilla's throat. That's so iconic and like you see that in a bunch of memes, but there was certain scenes that I'm I've seen this before because they're random scenes that don't really have anything to do with the plot, but my brain just kind of remembered. And so I just don't like this movie. I'll just be frank. I feel like it's kind of like Godzilla 2. Oh shoot. What do they call Godzilla 2? Godzilla Raids Again. I put it in that same category. It's boring, just the whole, especially early on, the native scenes are kind of derogatory. I mean, I'm not one of these people that's oh my god, that's so racist. I understand back in that time, they didn't think anything of it, but, if they try to do that now, it would be completely horrible. And, and it's just not a good film. I have to say, the Kaiju scenes were interesting. I mean, the fight scenes between Godzilla and King Kong were pretty awesome. I mean, like I mentioned, you have the iconic scene where King Kong is shoving the tree down Godzilla's throat, and so you have to laugh about that. And, the fight scenes are good. But that's pretty much it. The story, I don't even remember any of the human characters, and I just watched it, literally 4 days ago. I don't remember much. I remember it was was it a film company, the TV company, the reviews were bad, and somehow it was these berries. So, I want to just say, I watched the American version. So, I have if you see one of my last videos, I got the Criterion collection from my husband as a birthday gift, and so the version that's on the CD is actually the American version. It's not the Japanese version, and I'm gonna try to see if I can find the Japanese version because I always prefer watching the Japanese version, especially when I do reviews, because I feel that's how the movie was made, and that's how you should watch it. Because I feel sometimes, especially 1950s era type of Americanism, which I love America, but they kind of put weirdness into the Japanese films, and I don't know, just not a big fan. And I have to say, now that I say that, there was the scene where it was the NATO headquarters, but it's in space. I just didn't get, I was is this a space shuttle? Is this what this is? I couldn't get it. But it was the same clip, and it was just whenever you would go, they would go to that NATO, it was NATO, the NATO guy, NATO broadcaster. it was always the same as this little tiny ship going to the little NATO thing, and I'm just like, what the heck is this? This makes no sense. Like, what the fuck? And then he would be like, I'm blah blah blah, and then he would like interview random people, and it was just like one of the guys, it was a scientist, and he says reptile weird, and I don't know, maybe that's how they said reptile back in the 1950s. You know, I'm not sure, but what did he say? Now I have to go, when I go back, I'll put a clip so that to show how he says reptile, but it's like reptile? Reptile. I think that's how he says reptile. Reptile. You know, not reptar, not reptile, reptile. There's so many bad jokes that I could make, you know, inappropriate jokes. But yeah, so it's just bad. Just nothing good about this film, like, except for just the fight scenes. And I'm like, thank God they started fighting, because that's the only good thing about this movie. The Kaiju Designs, you know, I'm not really gonna talk about Godzilla. I mean, I like his design, actually. That's one good thing. But King Kong, man, I mean, he looks ugly. Like, he really is fugly in this movie. Like, I'm like, you're designing this off of a gorilla, like, you know, like a silverback gorilla. But the face just looks so bizarre, and it just doesn't look good. You know, I'm like, ugh. But anyways, I have to give this a 1 kaiju bite out of 5. You know, as I have to mention, as a kid, I actually like really vehemently hated this movie, because I was like, there's no way that an ape is going to defeat Godzilla. I still think that's true. And should I even go through my series with 2021? I think, you know, and what I like about the Monarch movies, you know, the new Godzilla, that universe, is that they try to make kind of sense of the kaijus in their universe. And, you know, they said that when we saw King Kong in the first movie, he wasn't finished growing. And so he's a lot bigger. I'm not sure how big compared to Godzilla, but I'm thinking they might be fighting, and then maybe, you know, that ending of the last movie, maybe Mecha King Ghidorah, or they somehow revitalize Ghidorah and he comes back, and then Kong and Godzilla unite to fight Ghidorah. That's my theory. But anyways, it's just a theory. I guess we'll find out in 2021, or if it gets pushed back, 2022. I hope it doesn't get pushed back. I hope that movie and Dune doesn't get pushed back. I'm so excited for those 2 movies, and Mulan. But anyways, guys, I hope you like and subscribe. I feel a little scatterbrained tonight, but you know what? Ate a lot of sugar, so feeling a little hyper, or as hyper as I get, being an introvert. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you like and subscribe and join me for future videos.